All right, guys. Sorry for the late start today. I was traveling late last night, got into Atlanta this morning, and needed an extra hour or two of sleep. So I apologize, but this is going to be a good episode. We are traveling through three book launches here, if you guys don't remember. And so the important part about that is we're going to be launching a book here shortly and then going back into kind of the editing and the getting ready to launch and that kind of thing in the next book. So it's going to bounce around a little bit. But today, what we're going to talk about is you have your book ready. It is pre order. You have done thousands of hours of prep. You have built websites. You have gone on podcasts. You've done articles. You have done basically everything possible except sell a single book. That's what you feel like when you're about 60 days out of the book launch. And that's what I felt like. And I was like, man, I have not done one thing that will actually sell a book. I just have built the infrastructure around this book launch for the last 10 months. So I started contacting some people and getting some advice and trying to figure out how to do this. So I'm going to lay out what I've learned and what we're going to do for the next 60 days before this first launch. And it's going to be kind of a mini launch. We're going to try all the stuff, see what works. And then the second launch is going to be the big one where we actually put this into practice and put this into play in a big way. But I'm inviting you folks to be a part of this journey because it's going to be a lot of fun. First of all, we're all going to learn something. We're going to learn how to launch a book. I know a lot of you have books inside of you and you thought about it. This will help you learn what that process looks like. On top of that, there's going to be some other just cool things along the way, a lot of freebies for the people who are involved and people who are helping out and stuff like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So 60 days out from the book launch, what are we about to do? Well, the first things first. So we talked to NGNG Enterprises, No Guts, No Glory Enterprises, who is a professional book launch manager. And one thing they did, and it goes along with my 80-20 teachings, is you should only be doing the stuff that only you can do. So you shouldn't be spending a whole lot of time on the other stuff, the website, the articles, editing and stuff like this, SEO management and trying to get the titles and the metadata right and all that stuff. You don't need to be the professional there. There are folks that can do that for you. And so one of the things that they taught me early on here is that I need to get a virtual assistant. I need to get a book launch manager. And so that's what I've done. So I've worked on getting that in place. That'll be set by the end of this week. And they are going to take a lot of the tasks off of my plate. And I'm going to focus on speaking, podcasts, writing, and talking about the book. And so that'll be kind of my thing going forward. And on top of that, we're going to build the launch team, which is what we'll talk about today. And it's what you guys will hear from me about probably afterwards. So how are we going to build the launch team? Well, most publishers will tell you to take everybody in your network, hit them with an email and say, please buy a copy of my book and please maybe post a review. Those are the two main things that people ask when they sell a book, like please buy a copy, don't care if you're interested, and then write a review if you are interested, kind of thing. I need your help. We're going to try and stay away from that. We're going to try and do a mission-based launch here. We have a long journey ahead of us, 3 business transformation books. This is all about transforming businesses. It's all about breakthrough thinking, breakthrough results through differentiated thinking from this bipolar inspired business strategies angle, which I'm happy to talk more about, and I will in other episodes of this. But that's what this mission is about valuing neurodivergent thought, about showing what kind of value it can pose in the business world, and about showing you some strategies. If we all read the same 20 books, we're going to get the same exact results, right? These are some differentiated thinking strategies that have gotten breakthrough results at 5 different companies. So very good stuff for you to learn if you are in the business world and for you to try out. And we'll be doing a lot more talking about that going forward too. But for the next 60 days, what we're going to be doing is I have segmented 3,000 people in my natural market. And that sounds like a lot, but in this day and age, you have 8,000 LinkedIn connections. You have a couple thousand people follow, you on a newsletter, you get 90,000 Twitter connections. Really, it's about which 3,000 do you want to reach out to, not do you have 3,000. Even folks who don't have those networks have several hundred or 100 people that they can reach out to, and they told me stories of people that could have a successful book launch with 30. So what we did is we broke out 3,000 people. I'm not going to contact all those people in the next 60 days, but I probably will contact all those people in the next 6 months for book launch number 2. For book launch number 1, we're going to contact mostly folks more aligned right directly in my natural market, who I talk to all the time, who I've worked with before, who I've crossed paths with in a meaningful way. And then we'll also reach out to some folks on the newsletters who have been obviously paying attention to the stuff that we've been talking about, and then possibly fellow authors. And what those outreaches are going to look like is quick little video, so 1 to 3 minute video, talking about how we know each other and what we're up to, and more importantly is what can we do for each other. So how can I help you? Can I give you some free assets? Can I give you a pitch on something that you're working on? Can I align you with somebody that I'm meeting during this book launch? So it's going to be trying to make a lot of win-win scenarios. So as you potentially get one of these invites, I want you to think about that, because I'm very serious about this. It's a 14-month journey I'm on. I'm not trying to sell one book on launch day and get a review and be done with it. I would really like to give back through this process, and I do have this extensive network. I am talking to a lot of people through the launch, and I would love to have a chance to help out and also learn about what you've got going on. And really, I am pretty passionate about helping people figure out how to write their book as well. So those are things that I'd love to talk about, and I'd love to help you kind of map out and show you how it can be done. So the next 60 days will look like a lot of little quick recordings. Shoot it out, ask people, hey, I would love for you to be involved several different ways. You can just buy a book and give a review. You can just retweet something. You can post something on LinkedIn. You can just introduce me to one of your friends. You can have me on your podcast. We can do a co-live stream together where we're selling something that you've got going on. Lots of different things that we can do. The main point is to try to direct a whole lot of activity around launch week. Why do they do that? It's because people want to get bestseller. I don't much care about bestseller, but I do care about a successful book launch, which has to do with how fast you come out of the gate. So we're going to do the launch week on this first book, mostly to get the book out of the gate successfully. The second book will be more about going after the bestseller tag, if we decide to. And I think we've got a big enough network that we can work with that if we want to. But the first book is about getting it out of the gate and making sure it's a successful book launch. It's business fiction, which is it's a little more niche than business nonfiction. So it lends itself to being a nice trial launch here that I'm going to run with the folks I'm closest to, and then we'll expand beyond that for the second launch. So make a quick video, ping it over to people and say, hey, here's a personalized video that just for you. And by the way, most authors don't do that. It's just this form letter that they send. The video, obviously increases engagement dramatically, but it's also just something nice. It makes it so that I'm spending a few minutes thinking about you. You're spending a couple minutes hearing about what I've got going on. And we work, together on whether or not that's something you want to be involved in. So that's the point of the video. It does take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think, to remember all these faces I've crossed paths with over the years at the different jobs and in the different situations. So I'm actually looking forward to making the videos. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be fun. Then you invite them. I invite you to fill out a short questionnaire that's just like, this is what I hope to get out of this, you guys. So this is what Todd can help me with. This is my name. This is my email. This is all the stuff that I'm willing to do during the launch, whether that's buy a book or write a review or have me on a podcast or have me speak in front of your group or whatever that is. there's like 10 different things that you can choose or choose not to do. You can choose all of them. You can choose none of them. I'm even going to have a button on there that's probably like very, very interested in the second launch, but not the first. And that's fine too. If you want to do something down the road and you're not ready to do something now, totally good. There's going to be a 13, 14-month journey here. That's going to be a lot of fun. 3 different books coming out. I'm excited about all of them. And it's going to be fun to learn about launching books together here. So they'll get that. They fill that out. And then my launch manager will probably help me take all that information and turn it into action. So I'll reach out and schedule the podcast. I'll reach out and schedule the live streams and the speeches. If they just want, mini books, I've got 3 pretty awesome quote unquote lead magnets that are like 50-page mini books that are pretty cool. That go into portions of the strategy. And so if that's all you want, we send you that. Or if you want to be on the retweet team, we make sure we send you the tweet package, and you'll have a whole bunch of set things that you can tweet the week of launch week. Or if you're just the reposting team, it'll be like, okay, keep an eye out January 20th through January 25th. There's going to be a ton of podcasts and all things that hit social media. As they hit, just repost them as you wish to your social media, and that helps a ton. Obviously, it's helping me use your network to show things that are going on with the book. And the goal is that during launch week, there's just so much going on that it's everywhere. Okay, that's what launch week's supposed to feel like is, wow, 20 podcasts dropped. Wow, 5 articles dropped. Wow, an award. Wow, a news interview. Like that's what launch week is supposed to feel like. And it's just all over social media. And that's what drives the successful launch out of the gate. The important part of the launch is to sell enough books in the first week or 2 that you get a whole bunch of reviews in the weeks 2, 3, and 4. And then as you get those reviews, the book kind of ends up with longevity. And that's the difference between a business book launch that might sell 100 copies, which most of them sell between 100 and 250, or one that sells 1,000 or 2,000 or more. I'll also probably be putting a little bit of ad spend behind it for those first 4 weeks. So I'm working on a couple companies talking about that, just to make sure that the book is popping up as people are searching for relevant topics and things like that, which also help with the Amazon flywheel effect, which we'll talk about at a different time. But basically, that's what launch week is going to look like. That's what the 60 days before launch week is going to look like. You hopefully will get an email sometime over the next 6 months from me. Maybe not in this first launch that I'm calling the trial launch, but definitely for the second and the third launch, which are going to be the bigger launches. Hopefully you'll get some kind of email from me inviting you to be a part of this launch group. I'm also going to put a link to that in this newsletter. So if you do want to just proactively become part of the launch group, please do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think over the course of time, I'm hoping to have a few dozen people in this first launch team, and then a few hundred people in the second and third launch team. And that's going to determine how successful these books are. So as this happens, I'll report out and let you guys know how it's working. But the important part for you to know is the main difference. I've looked at a bunch of these different launch groups and launch teams. The main difference between what we're doing and what other people are going to be doing is a lot of one-on-one video messages talking about the journey rather than asking for a task and asking for a favor, and also offering up favors in return. So let's talk through what I can do to help you. Who do you want to be introduced to? What are you struggling with at work that I might have an article that can help you through it, or pinpoint a chapter and send you a free preview of a chapter of one of the 3 books coming out, in a year. So things like that. Just so don't be afraid to ask me, tell me what you're looking for. And I love to help. That's one of the reasons I wrote these books. It's going to be a lot of fun to reconnect with a lot of you here over this journey. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Sorry for the late start this morning. And this LinkedIn newsletter will be out here shortly. Thanks, guys.